Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2025 Husky Hall of Fame ceremony. Tonight's MC is Tony Castricone.
Thank you. Good evening. I am in my ninth year here at the University of Washington, and I have to say, of all the experiences, this is always one of the best ones. It's so cool to be a part of Hall of Fame night because it's so special. Such an opportunity to honor true greatness and people who mean so much to the University of Washington. So it's an honor and privilege to be here this evening. And thank you for allowing me to be your MC tonight. I want to say welcome to a few people tonight. University of Washington Athletic Director Pat Chun is here. The 2025 Hall of Fame inductees and their families and friends. Tonight's all about you, so welcome. We've got some head coaches here tonight, and they are the absolute foundation of Husky athletics and what it is built upon. And so we want to say hello to them, starting with Michael Callahan, men's rowing, is here. Yaz Farouk, women's rowing. Tina Langley with women's basketball. And Heather Tarr, softball. So thank you for being here tonight. Thank you also to our generous supporters of the Husky Hall of Fame, Aqua by El Gaucho, for providing what's going to be a fantastic meal this evening, and Chateau Saint Michel for providing the wine for tonight's event. Also, thank you to the Hall of Fame Selection Committee and all the hard work that they've put into making tonight possible. Husky Hall of Famer Detlef Schrempf, Husky Hall of Famer Bailey Gordon Stenson, Husky Hall of Fame Curator Dave Terrell, Athletic Department Representatives Kim Duran, Chip Lydom, Jeff Bechtold, Justin Glenn, and Marta Valdez, lead Hall of Fame designer. Thank you all for your hard work. Now, without further ado, I'd like to welcome our Athletic Director, Pat Chun, to the stage for a few words.
I'll give Tony a nice round of applause. He had a long night last night. A good night, though, with our football program. Want to welcome everyone to Alaska Airlines Arena at historic Hec Ed Pavilion. Before we get into it, I just want to throw a couple other thank yous. To my left, Alex Sampson and Justin Glenn. Thank you for all the hard work you put into this. Give them a nice round of applause. I have a whole bunch of teammates out in the audience today, too many to recognize, but this is an important event to all of us. For those of you who haven't been back in a while, or for those who have been back, welcome home. Welcome back to Montlake. Welcome back to your campus. Today is a very special evening because tonight we get to induct the 2025 class of the Husky Hall of Fame. For our Hall of Famers, you guys recognize that success is what you achieved here, but a legacy is what you have left. And tonight's an opportunity for us to celebrate your legacy. When you wear the purple and gold, just to be a part of this, and all our athletes in the audience or former athletes recognize this, that you're already the best of the best if you're a Husky. But if you get to a place where you're actually put into this Hall of Fame, and when you read about our Hall of Fame, I'm still relatively new here, it's a list of champions. It's a list of Super Bowl winners, PGA Tour champions, WNBA champions, Olympians, medalists. It is the best of college athletics. It does represent the absolute best in us. And it is a reminder to us that are here today that you guys set a standard, ultimately, that we have to exceed. So we welcome you back, but we also want to say thank you. Thank you for the legacy you left all of us. Thank you for giving us this responsibility to add to the storied program. There's only one Washington. There's only one school like us in the entire world. And because of what you guys have done in your respective moments on our campus, the words you have added to the historic chapters of this institution, We recognize our responsibility to add to it, but we also are ecstatic to celebrate what you guys have accomplished. So tonight, I've challenged our team. For those of us who've been through Hall of Fame banquets, we're gonna run tempo with our offense. So we're going to make sure that we get everyone enough time here tonight, but we also recognize that we want to make sure that this is a fun night for everyone, because my guess is there's a lot of Huskies here, so there's probably an after party somewhere that people are going to try to get to as well. So enjoy the evening. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Go Dogs.
Thank you, Pat. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our most distinguished guests tonight, our current Hall of Fame members from various induction classes. And please hold your applause for these amazing individuals until the end of the procession. Peg Achterman. Rhonda Smith Bancaro. Betsy Beard Stillings. Jeannie Bodle. Patricia Bostrom. Susan Broom. Chris Marie Campbell. Annie Christie. Tristine Drennan. Cherie Forsberg. Jenny Flynn. Bailey Stenson Gordon. Tasha Gray. Ashley Charters. Silas Harrington. Lisa Hendry. Jan Harville. Lynn Kalina. Warren Moon. Sean Mulligan. Chuck Nelson. Christy Norelius. Sarah Pickering. Cody Pickett. John Stillings. Christy Stingle. Denny Stobin. Sabina Talenska. Andy Tyler. And Carrie Tyler. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the current owners of the prestigious purple jacket. Thank you for joining us all tonight. And now our recognition begins this evening with the Don H. Palmer Award, presented by the Big W Club. This is a non-athlete award that honors those who exemplify a special commitment to the University of Washington Athletic Department. Our honoree this year is Chip Lydum, Associate Athletic Director. Chip was one of the first people I met when I was brand new at the University of Washington, and his kindness struck me immediately. But more than that, it's the legacy that he's left in 4 decades working at the University of Washington. He is the quintessential behind-the-scenes Husky, and the fruits of his decades of work are there for all to see. Among other projects, Lydum was the athletic department's administrator in charge of the major renovations of Husky Stadium, Hec Ed Pavilion, and the Conabear Shell House. And add to those new projects like Husky Ballpark, the Dempsey Indoor Practice Facility, the Softball Performance Facility, Husky Track, and most recently, the sparkling, fantastic Husky Basketball Performance Center that's brand new and just opened within the last month. He was a key player in all of those projects. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the stage the winner of the Dr. Don H. Palmer Award, Gary Chip Lydum.
Wow. Oh boy, thank you so much. I told myself I'm not going to get in the trap of naming everybody because I've been here 40 years, so I wrote it down so I wouldn't get too distracted. But I am overwhelmed to stand before you and accept this award that I could not have conceived happening as a kid growing up in Seattle. Thank you to this year's Hall of Fame committee, and I know this has been said, but I think it's worthy of saying again. Jeff Bechtold, who actually took my position in his current job, Dave Terrell, Justin Glenn, Detlef Schrempf, Bailey Stenson, Kim Durand, and Shannon Kelly for considering me worthy. Thanks to you. And thanks to Alex Sampson and Claire Summers, fellow Blanchette Bear, for organizing this great event. And sincere congratulations to this year's inductees. You're all true champions in every way. What a thrill to share this day with you. As you might imagine, over 40 years I've experienced the gamut of events, people, leadership styles, and trends. Currently our enterprise is quite turbulent, as I'm sure a lot of you have been reading and noticing, but I'm very grateful to serve under the stable leadership of Athletic Director Pat Chun and Deputy Athletic Director Aaron O'Connell. They're so supportive of our staff, and I thank you so much. They're doing what's right for our university. I sometimes hear people disparaging the current generation of young people, but I can assure you they are just as motivated for achievement as any group of Huskies before them. I'm optimistic that the future Hall of Famers are among us right now and will be even more worthy. I love the John Wooden quote, "Young people need models, not critics." I grew up 3.2 miles from where I'm standing in the Wedgwood neighborhood of Seattle. Our family generation before me and my three siblings did not have a tradition of going to college. My frame of reference was for what the University of Washington represented was athletics. The Seattle Supersonics had just been born, but the biggest show in town belonged to the Huskies by a long shot. My younger brother by 2 years, Mike, and I rode our Stingray bikes, his gold, mine green, to Husky Stadium often during the Sunday Six Killer years. It was primal and soulful to get anywhere near these Husky heroes from all sports. I'm quite sure that when the seeds were sown for a lifelong quest to be part of something so magical was then. There's the great Dr. Seuss book, "Oh, the Places You'll Go," is about following dreams. In my life, the University of Washington was the catalyst to launch me to places I never thought possible. An education and a degree from the UW opens up limitless possibilities. Having been small and not really athletic, it shows the world is diverse and in need of many roles and talents. In fact, Coach Peterson used to say, "Know your role and own it." It doesn't have to be the biggest role, but just own it. I work in the facilities and events sector of our department, which is made up of unseen teammates who toil without fanfare to make this Husky machine go. I'm so appreciative of their resolve, commitment, and talent. Just tonight, they will convert this facility into basketball playing mode by the time you're having your morning coffee. And that goes on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My short message about the secret to a long career is simply, must be present to win. I want to acknowledge my family, sons Nick and Charlie, and my deeply devoted wife, Cynthia, the love of my life, for their support and for allowing me to follow this dream. My sisters, Lisa and Lori, are my muses and angels on earth. And then my Aunt Linda's here, and I wanted to tell you how important she was to me. When I was in the United States Marine Corps, I was stationed in Okinawa. She would save up the newspapers, the Seattle PI, Sporting Green, and the Seattle Times. That's 60 sports pages per month, and she would mail them to Okinawa. And to get a little taste of home and to read about what's going on back in my hometown was so memorable you can't even imagine the love behind that and what it meant. And I think, speaking of the seeds, I think the seeds of being a journalist were getting those mailings every month. And so you never know when you're about to affect somebody. Finally, I dedicate this award to the memory of my brother Mike, who inspired me in more ways than he ever knew. Thank you, and go Dogs.
Congratulations, Chip. I'm very happy for you. Well-deserved honor. All right, we'll break briefly now for dinner, and we will resume the program shortly. Enjoy.
Makare was Makare. She represented the University of Washington in the best way possible. She carried herself with pride and poise. She had the mental acuity to know the game and to to compete like mad, and she was really good when things were tough. She's always been one of my favorite players. I mean, she's special. She's very special.
Even on an early age, she just seemed to have, I call it the it factor. She was very committed, very team first, humble, grounded, just a great all-around person.
She was a dynamic athlete. When you watched her play, she was tall, very quick laterally. She jumped out of the gym, often hitting over blocks. Makare was such a competitive person. She had this pride in her, this spark that no one was going to stop her from doing what she wanted to do.
And we were playing Stanford. They were defending national champions, and the ball was coming back over on our side of the net. And she went up and she hit a ball. I mean, she was up there high, and she hit the ball straight down. It was like a home run, and it bounced to the ceiling practically. And the Stanford players, they ducked, and then they just laughed. And so did we. The only thing you could do was laugh. I mean, it was that good. And she was capable of making those kind of extraordinary, super athletic plays that were very entertaining.
She took blocking to the next level. And by her senior year, she was setting records both on our team and in the conference. She led the conference in total blocks, block solos, and assist blocks. I mean, that is just amazing. Making it to the Sweet 16 her senior year. It was a big moment for us. It was really exciting. She was a go-to player for us, someone that we could count on to make plays, and she was able to rise to the occasion. And I think it takes a special person to do that, and she had that in her. Makare, I am so excited that you're inducted into the UW Hall of Fame. You deserve to be in here for all the accomplishments that you made here as a student athlete and the things that you've continued to do off the court.
His parents, pretty special, and I just wish her mom, who passed away recently 2 years ago, would have been here with us. And I know her mom was super proud of her. Makare, now's my time to congratulate you directly, saying well done, well deserved, and all the best.
All right, let the festivities begin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is truly an exceptional evening where we honor exceptional legacy left by these Hall of Fame inductees here. Simply, we're honoring the best of the best who have ever worn the purple and gold. And so let's begin the show now with the 1987 and 1988 Women's Varsity 8 crews. The 1987 crew was coached by class of 25 inductee Bob Ernst, and the 1988 team was coached by Jan Harville. After having had a streak of 5 straight national titles broken in 1986, which is remarkable enough as it is, UW won the 1987 national title at Lake Natoma, beating Yale by 3.6 seconds in the grand final. And then the Huskies defended that national title on Lake Hammond in Pennsylvania, beating second place Yale for the title once again. Our first inductees of the evening, the 1987 and 1988 Women's Varsity 8 crews.
At that time, in the history of the women's program, we'd won 6 national championships in a row, and in 1986 we got derailed. We ended up getting 3rd place. The 87 crew, they were on a bloody crusade to get back on a winning track.
They were going to prove everyone wrong, all the doubters out there that thought that the Washington legacy was over. And from the very beginning of that season, there was a determination unlike ever before.
And I mean, they were tough as nails. They won all their races, San Diego Crew Classic, they won the first ever Pac-10 rowing championships.
And there was nothing that was going to stop them. And when they arrived at nationals, yes, this Varsity 8 won, but so did every other Washington boat. They swept nationals. That was the first time any school had done that.
They laid down a standard that every single Washington program every year has to strive for.
There was an incredible joy in '87 when the team swept, and that joy carried over. '88 felt to me more focused. It was a time of change with a transition in the coaching staff, and in '88 there was just really a lot of pressure, this question of can Washington do it again?
They had a bullseye on their back. The year before, we were the ones going after Wisconsin and everybody else. In '88, everybody was coming after us. It was my first year coaching the varsity. The crew had to establish a new confidence in each other.
Given all of the things that have changed within the program, we weren't going to lose step at all. Washington doubled down and we decided every stroke counts. Every stroke counts.
The race at Windermere Cup, we were behind at 1,500 meters, almost a length. And the crew just kept pushing, and never giving up, and ended up passing Australia. I think that was just a really important race for them because they learned so much. So by the time the national championships came, you know, they were ready for anything.
They were exceptional people and exceptional athletes, and they rose to a very challenging occasion and repeated it as national champions. And I want to celebrate each and every one of them.
I really want to congratulate this crew and the 77 crew. They certainly deserve it.
I want to congratulate everyone in the 1987 and 1988 Varsity 8s, as well as their teammates that pushed them up from the lower boats. It's a wonderful honor for you to become inducted into the Hall of Fame.
You represented the whole program, the continuum that's Washington rowing, and I'm very proud of all of you.
This recognition is a long time coming. I'm so happy for all of you. And I am so grateful for your accomplishment because I think you're phenomenal women.
Ladies and gentlemen, receiving their coveted purple jackets tonight are Lisa Beluche, Gail Dorf-Byrne-Baber, Stephanie Doyle, Fritzi Grevstad, Alice Henderson, Heidi Hook, Trish Leiden Jameson, Chris Sanford Milburn, Sarah Watson Peshkin, Chris Van Pelt Rosenauer, Trudy Ockenden Taylor, Katarina Wickstrom, Linda Lusk Williams. And speaking on behalf of these two remarkable teams tonight are Alice Henderson and Stephanie Doyle.
Stephanie is a coxswain and I am not, and she did not want to stand next to me right now because it becomes more apparent, but I love the little people. So in a room full of people who like to be first, I win. So I get to celebrate sooner by getting this honor accomplished. So I don't normally speak for other people because I have a lot of my own opinions. So if I misrepresent you or misconstrue something, you should talk to my husband because he often feels that same way. I want to start with gratitude to the committee and the people who selected us, and to the supporters. I know there's a lot of people who've been working to help us achieve this, and we appreciate that. And it is gobsmacking to me that there were men advocating for us, other than Bob, to be honored here. And I appreciate the change in rowing, that we're all looked at as rowers versus just the women. That is absolutely applause-worthy. Otherwise, hold the applause to the end because we are running a tight ship, and I don't want to be the one who screws it up. All right, I also want to thank those of us who had children and our children are here. You know, we have watched you so many times on the pitch, the field, the lake, the stage, the pool, all those things. So lucky you that you get to watch us be successful, and we would like you to take us out for ice cream after this. To the team parents that are with us here tonight and those who are with us in spirit, it is emotional that you are still here with us and celebrating us and advocated for us and were with us. And thank you for being with us now. To the sisterhood. Whew, what an honor to be part of the sisterhood. We had the privilege, some of us, of speaking to the crying is passion leaving your body. And I am a passionate person. We had the honor of speaking to the women who are currently wearing the purple and getting up and doing all the hard things that we are grateful we don't have to do. It is surreal to look at these stairs and know I don't have to run them. But we were with them this morning, and to be part of that legacy is a powerful thing, and to have the sisterhood to be with us this evening. The women who greeted us and supported us when we were coming up and who were goddesses and are still goddesses to us, thank you. And to our two sisters from the other W that are here celebrating, we see you and we appreciate you as well. There's one. And to Bob for valuing sisterhood and the legacy and teaching us that and helping us understand the power of that and building that structure for us. It's an honor to be inducted with Bob. 87, as they said in the speeches, and my God, it looked like our baby pictures were up there. That was amazing. 87 was about unity and resilience, and Betsy and Chris touched on that. And it was about the whole team. And 86 was a disappointing year for us. We felt like we had broken the legacy. And we actually had people at nationals from other teams telling us that the Washington legacy was over, as if we weren't already feeling in pain. And one of our teammates who normally didn't swear, I remember this meeting, we were in a van, and she said, "Fuck them all." And I was like, what a great tagline. So we made our tagline FEA, because it was fuck not them, all. And that was our tagline for the year, and it unified us and was, we had it on t-shirts, we painted it on the cut, we said it all the time. It was our rally cry, and the polite people among us turned it into fastest 8 around, which also worked. It also worked. We were undefeated. We only lost to the Soviet Union because that's how old we were. It was not Russia, it was the Soviet Union. It's taken them a while to elect us, I'm just gonna say, but we're grateful for today. And as they also said in the video, we were the first team ever to sweep. And it was the unifying rallying of that we were all gonna get there, that we were all gonna do it. And I'm still a referee, so I understand today kids are out there with their phones and they know the results. We didn't know the results. The Varsity 8 comes down, we have no idea what's happening, and every time you come down, you could see on the dock, and that's when we realized we had swept, because the other people were losing their minds, and so it wasn't just that we won, we all won that day, and it was fabulous. So the best part of me was formed at Washington as a Washington rower, and it's the sisterhood, and not the medals, but the bonding experience of being together and being with this group of people and being part of the continuum of this group that is the most meaningful to me. And with that in mind, the people who were on the podium in 87, some of our friends are back there, if they could stand up and celebrate with us now. There they are. All the people behind me were in the varsity or the JV. I forgot to mention that part. And everybody knows to have the easiest way to have a fast varsity 8 is have a JV 8 that's hunting them down every day. And we race the JV way more than we race anybody else. And the JV races that third boat, and to have everybody pushing each other is the way to excel and to be excellent. And it's so nice to celebrate what we as a team accomplished, because I'm here with my boat, but I feel like in my heart, I'm here with my team.
Oh, the little people. Even though I was a speech communication major, I felt daunted by this opportunity tonight to speak to you all. And I want to just say that it is not on behalf of my boat that I'm speaking, because every one of these women is amazing and incredible and has their own things to say. But tonight, the duty is mine, and so I'm gonna focus on that. A few thank yous, first of all. First I want to thank the selection committee, and then I want to honor all of the new Hall of Fame members. We are joining Rarefied Air, and congratulations to you, and so exciting to be here with you. My first thank you is personal. It's to three friends and team members, Gil, Tricia, and Christy Dotson, who during my freshman year here at the University of Washington, when I was trying to find a sport to do because I was so small and couldn't figure out where my people were at the University of Washington, leaned over to me and said, "You know, you would be a good coxswain," as I listened to them dissect the practice one day. The next year I turned out for the team, and that decision changed my life. I want to thank the UW rowing team members who came before us and who have come after us. This is a culture where we support, love, and make each other better on and off the water. I want to especially acknowledge the women who fought for us and the things we have taken for granted, like equipment, uniforms, coaching, travel funds, and much more. Thank you for paving the way. Bob, you built the foundation for Washington Rowing. Your focus on creating a program and a system that committed us to excellence and where we learned to work harder than we ever thought we could work is changed my life, and I know has made me a better person, so thank you for that. And Jan, when you took the reins in 1988, your calm, confident approach instilled the same in me in leading the team. You were a collaborator and a coach for me, and beyond that, you've been a mentor and a friend. I'm so grateful to have you in my life and learn so much from you. Thank you. And then Alice and I do have something in common, because I also want to thank our biological and chosen families who cheered us on, provided us unconditional love and support, and followed us both physically and in spirit through our rowing careers and beyond. Thank you always for your generosity and for taking us out to breakfast and dinner when we were on the road. The 1988 season was about repeating and rebuilding. Most of the group were seniors and were singularly focused on a national title. We had goals for every race, every stroke of every race, and we were focused on executing. After winning some close races in San Diego and against the East Coast schools, we had confidence. We knew we could do it, and we were united in the commitment to make every stroke count. Like the boys in the boat, we came from different backgrounds with different experiences and various perspectives. When we were in the boat, the differences didn't matter. We were united by deep focus on one goal. Our final race of the season, the national championship, in Tioga, Pennsylvania on Lake Hammond, stormy water blew us off the water, and our race was bumped to the next morning when our parents were gone, there was no one left, and it was just us. We arrived at the race course at about 4:15, I believe, a.m., and were told by Jan to be warm and ready to go. We got on the water, and with not a soul around, no video, no nothing, rode for a national championship that we won. This experience and those that you heard about from Alice are etched in our memories, and we are grateful for this opportunity. Thank you for having us tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the ladies in the boat in 1987 and 88, the Varsity 8 Crews. Congratulations. All right, now to football. A 3-time starter at cornerback as a sophomore, junior, and senior. Held the school record for single-season pass breakups with 15 back in 1981, and that record held until 2023 when we played 15 games. So still a pretty good run back in 1981. Also a punt return specialist with a 73-yard punt return for a touchdown in a game against USC back in 1980. Played in back-to-back Rose Bowl games following the 80 and 81 seasons. Was a first-team All-Pac-10 selection in 1981 and a first-team All-American by the NEA, and also honorable mention All-American according to the AP. Selected by the Cincinnati Bengals in the second round of the 1983 NFL Draft. He played for 6 years for the Bengals before playing 4 more with the Dallas Cowboys and eventually winning a Super Bowl with the Cowboys in his final game as a professional player. A graduate of Mount Tahoma High. Here is our next inductee, Ray Horton.
What stood out about Ray was his seriousness about getting things done. Ray has always been very purposeful, focused, and very committed being a Husky. We had back-to-back Rose Bowls in 80 and 81 seasons. We're ranked number 1 the following year in 1982 for a number of weeks. It was a great era for Husky football, and Ray was a big part of that.
Ray is pretty quiet, really, but you can see if you watch him, he's very observant. He just had the ability to transfer what we would draw up on a piece of paper into actual action on the field and get it done in a minimum amount of time.
He had a great maturity about him when he played. Nothing was ever hurried. He was quick, he was fast, he made plays, but he seemed to have everything under control all the time. I have a great memory of a punt return because Ray, in addition to being a great cornerback, was a very good punt returner. Ray catches this punt and just stands there. 2001, 2002, 2003, as if he had called for a fair catch. And of course, all the punt coverage guys just kind of relax and slow down. And then Ray takes off for a very long return, and as the coverage guys kind of panic and realize that the play is still going.
I was involved in drafting Ray for his professional career. He was athletic, intelligent, principled, knowledgeable. He was a God-given athlete, and he played every position in the defensive backfield. He's a born coach, and if I was putting together a staff tomorrow, he'd be on it.
Coach Horton had a great deal of impact on my game. He was detailed, he was organized, and he told us the truth. That's one of the biggest things that I learned and I used in my coaching style was he told us the truth. That what he said in training camp was the same thing we said on Super Bowl Sundays. And I think the way that he approached the game mentally made me a much better player.
The NFL is the ultimate meritocracy. You have to be good at what you do or you don't stay. Ray's commitment to the game and making his teammates better obviously served him as a player. Long NFL career, a couple of Super Bowl rings, championships as well. And the fact that he had a long coaching career, 3-decade coaching career in the NFL also is a testament to the respect that the league had for him. Ray, congratulations. You deserve this. You have earned this. We're all very, very proud of you and excited for this honor for you.
I'm very, very honored to have any part of your induction into the Husky Hall of Fame. You were a great football player. You're a better person. You're a better American. And I couldn't be any more happier for you than I am tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, bestowing the purple jacket on Ray Horton tonight is his son, Jaron Horton.
Good evening, Huskies. Stephanie was just up here. She said something remarkable. She talked about rarefied air, okay? I own a company called Rare Air Coaching, and I give speeches to colleges and service members. And I charge a lot of money for an hour speech. And Justin, raise your hand, Justin. He said, 7 minutes. All right. When I talk to my players and college students, I say something to them. Stories mean something, okay? I'm going to tell you 2 quick stories, and I'm going to be done in 6 minutes with my speech, not the story, all right? One of the speeches that I give is how you connect people, okay? So Stephanie talked about that. If you realize it or not, next year is going to be the 250th anniversary of the founding of America, okay? Right now, today, you're looking at the 250th inductee into the University of Washington. We're going to be connected. You may not know me, but we're going to be connected all next year. When you hear the 250th anniversary of the U.S., you're going to say, doggone that Ray Horton, all right? Now, I'll give you another connection, okay? He doesn't know this, but there's a young man sitting here. He's coming up. His name is Nick Taylor, okay? We're connected by the University of Washington. He lives in Phoenix. I live in Phoenix. And he doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to ask him a quick question. Nick, I know where you're sitting. Nick, if you had 148 to 154 yards at noon, sea level, what club would you hit? Here's what I would hit, a 9. Okay, now hold on. In the magazine, it said a 9, okay? Nick, you had 188 yards at sea level. What would you hit? We're connected, okay? Next time you see Nick chasing that green jacket and they say, well, Nick's hitting a 9-9, you'll say, doggone it, that's what Ray Horton would hit, okay? All right, I'd like to thank a couple people also. I haven't started yet, Justin, okay? The selection committee, I'd like to thank, and everybody's thanked the selection committee. Chuck Nelson is sitting out here. He was up here. The greatest honor that Chuck could ever give me, that was great, but the greatest honor he ever gave me was asking me to be the godparents of his children. Chuck, love you, man, okay? Obviously, our football team, I'd like to thank them. Deshae Townsend, Dick LeBeau is up there, the coaches. Congratulations to the other inductees. Warren Moon's out here. Warren, thank you for putting the University of Washington football team on the map. Thank you, Warren. Sonny Sixkiller, thank you also. Love your golf tournament. Michael Jackson may not be here, but Michael Jackson put the defensive DNA. We are Michael Jackson. Thank you. All right, Justin, just about done. You ready? Time me. Here we go. All right. I am not here because of individual brilliance that you saw in the field. I am here, and the other inductees will tell you the same. When you're chasing Super Bowls, championships, rowing championships, basketball championships, sometimes it's a lonely road, early in the morning, late at night. But your friends and your families live vicariously through you. They're with you. They just don't work out with you. But for me to be standing here, I have a lot of people that were on that road with me. My mother and father are no longer here. If my father, Albert, was here, here's what he would be thinking. He wouldn't say a word to you, but he'd be thinking, that's my boy up there. If my mother Josie was here, oh, you know, she would be wearing head to toe purple as she always did. And she would be telling everybody, that's my boy, that's my boy, that's my boy. I think what my parents would be most proud of is that two of their sons, myself and my oldest brother, collectively have met 5 U.S. presidents, and we're from Tacoma, Washington. All right? All right. I would like to thank people. This is a fantastic honor for me to be here, but I would not be here by myself. George Norty was my high school football coach at the University at Mount Tahoma High School. Probably the greatest high school coach ever. He was the one that got me to the University of Washington early. I had graduated a half a year before my class. He got me to the University of Washington while my class was still in high school. And I owe everything to him. His wife, Luann's here, his daughter, Lynn, and his granddaughter, Nicole, are here. Thank you for being here. Eugene Brown is here, okay? Eugene Brown was my high school friend, my childhood friend. He was the first man I ever told, I love you to. And when I told it to him, he said, what did you say? And I said, I love you, and I meant it. I say it to every one of my friends now, male and female. I tell them, I love you. And I do, Eugene, I love you. Mario Reeves, neighborhood friend, the greatest hands next to Paul Scanzi. Thank you for being here, Mario. Richard Jones, he taught me what commitment and dedication. Tommy Johnson was my high school quarterback. Tommy, I know you're here. Will you stand up for 1 second? Tommy, you're over here. Tommy's in the back, okay? Tommy, turn around for a second. Now, I was a high school tailback. That was the view I had all the time. I love that behind rear view on Friday nights. Thank you, Tommy. Joey Diskew is here. He was my #1 first fan. He was a University of Washington graduate. I don't know how many times we played backgammon late at night. Thank you for your friendship. Manuel Fernandez, you've been like a brother to me. Mario and Audrey Rodriguez, you guys have always treated myself and Karina like family. Greg and Lily Walker, thank you for our conversations on and off the golf course. It's like talking to a mirror. It's unbelievable. Looking forward to our golf trip. Kevin Tomlin and Joe the Pro, thank you for the golf lessons. I mean, you've made me a better player. Now, to my family, Scott Horton, so proud that you're a policeman, and I'm so proud that you walk your walk. Eric Horton, you're like my second son. He's a pilot for Alaska Airlines. I fly planes. You have saved my life so many times. You made flying so great. Thank you for that, Eric. Tori Dunn, appreciate what you've done in the radio business, and you're a force. Marcus Horton, thank you so much. Love you. Another Horton in aviation. Brian Horton's my youngest brother. Brian, you had huge shoes to fill, and you went your own path. I'm so proud that you served our country. I'm so glad that you're a pilot. Another Horton in pilot. Cynthia Stevens, my sister, proud that you served our country. I love our conversations, that you'll give me your ear all the time. David and Buddy Horton, they're my 2 oldest brothers. That's why I'm where I'm at. They went to Mount Tahoma. They were on the Hall of Fame in Mount Tahoma. Not me. I wasn't good enough to get in the Hall of Fame at my high school. I love you guys, what you do. David, you're the smartest guy I know. Buddy, you're the kindest person I know. My kids, Mikkel, I love your heart. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. Cameron, thank you for accepting me with love. My son, Jaron, you just saw him. My proudest moment in coaching, I've been with Hall of Famers. I've been to Super Bowls. My proudest moment is coaching with you. You'll be a head coach. My daughter, Taylor. Taylor, you don't know this, but I'm going to give you a little biology lesson here, okay? When parents conceive a child, okay, their spirit goes to heaven. There, God interviews them, and he decides what kid to give them. He blessed us with you. Taylor, I love you with all my heart. I'm so proud of the mother you become. And I'm just about done, Justin. My wife, okay? I want to tell you something about my wife. Obviously, we're around a lot. She's petrified to go flying with me. But she does. She loves me. Now, she doesn't really know how I feel about her, okay? But I'm going to show her what I mean. When you call me, you don't know what goes on, okay? Because you're never with me when you call me. But when you call me, this is what I'm reminded of. And Justin, there's 30 seconds left. When my wife calls me, this is how I hear her. I love you, friends and family, and for the other inductees, this is why we're here. Friends and family, Husky family. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Ray, and congratulations on your induction into the Hall of Fame. All right, let's go on to volleyball now. A 4-year letter winner as a middle blocker from Vancouver, British Columbia. First team All-American in 1997 when she led the nation in blocks with 2.06 blocks per set. That blocks average set a Pac-10 record that still stands today. 222 total blocks are still the UW record and 5th in Pac-10, Pac-12 history. And her 542 career block assists and 677 total blocks are both school records and still ranked number 7 and number 3 in conference history, respectively, as well. Her 135 career block solos are still easily a school record. She still holds the UW single game record for hitting percentage and for block solos with 7. She helped lead Washington to the NCAA tournament in 3 of her 4 seasons here on Montlake, reaching the NCAA round of 16 back in 1997. She had a long pro career as well, both indoor and in beach, and was a 2-year member of the U.S. national team, 1998 and 1999, playing at the 98 World Champions. Here is our next inductee, Makare Desilets.
Makare was Makare. She represented the University of Washington in the best way possible. She carried herself with pride and poise. She had the mental acuity to know the game and to compete like mad, and she was really good when things were tough. She's always been one of my favorite players. I mean, she's special. She's very special.
Even on an early age, she just seemed to have, I call it the it factor. She was very committed, very team first, humble, grounded. Just a great all-around person.
She was a dynamic athlete. When you watched her play, she was tall, very quick laterally. She jumped out of the gym, often hitting over blocks. Makare was such a competitive person. She had this pride in her, this spark that no one was going to stop her from doing what she wanted to do.
And we were playing Stanford. They were defending national champions, and the ball was coming back over on our side of the net. And she went up and she hit a ball. I mean, she was up there high, and she hit the ball straight down. It was like a home run, and it bounced to the ceiling practically. The Stanford players, they ducked, and then they just laughed, and so did we. The only thing you could do was laugh. I mean, it was that good, and she was capable of making those kind of extraordinary, super athletic plays that were very entertaining.
She took blocking to the next level. And by her senior year, she was setting records both on our team and in the conference. She led the conference in total blocks, block solos, and assist blocks. I mean, that is just amazing. Making it to the Sweet 16 her senior year. It was a big moment for us. It was really exciting. She was a go-to player for us, someone that we could count on to make plays, and she was able to rise to the occasion. And I think it takes a special person to do that, and she had that in her. Makare, I am so excited that you're inducted into the UW Hall of Fame. You deserve to be in here for all the accomplishments that you made here as a student athlete and the things that you continue to do off the court.
As parents, pretty special, and I just wish her mom, who passed away recently 2 years ago, would have been here with us. And I know her mom was super proud of her. Makare, now's my time to congratulate you directly, saying well done, well deserved, and all the best.
And bestowing Makare with the prestigious purple jacket tonight is her stepdad, Rick.
Okay, good evening. I'm going to try to keep it together. Playing sports in front of everybody is not a problem. Speaking, completely different story. So I'll try to take breaths. I was advised to take breaths between every sentence. So here we go. Pray for me. If there's one expression that sums up my journey, it's this: it takes a village. Growing up in a small village in Fiji, surrounded by tin huts, washing clothes in rivers, and yes, the unforgettable joy of pit toilets. I was so blessed. I never dreamed of becoming a pro athlete, earning a college scholarship, or even living overseas. Yet here I am today, retired from all those chapters, and standing here, deeply honored to receive this recognition. Now, I know I was the one who showed up to the gym every day and put in the work, but none of this would have been possible without the people behind the scenes who built my foundation, who I affectionately call my family. My mom, who's now listening from above, was my backbone. She not only taught us to be proud of our Fijian culture and language, but also to be strong, independent women, never victims of anything, but survivors of everything life throws our way. My dad, Mike, thank you for your unwavering love and for making me the second longest baby ever born in the Fijian hospital. That was clearly the start of my athletic career, obviously. To my stepdad, Rick, you're the one main reason I'm here today. I was 9 and my sister Makita, 5, when you took on 2 wild village kids and raised us like your own in Canada. You had no idea what you were getting yourself into, and honestly, neither did we, and that clearly worked out just fine. Just a quick taste of our childhood with you and Mom. It literally was like, I don't know if you've seen this show, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We were the epitome of that. My sister Makita, just very smart, polished, graceful ballerina, and I was Will. The chatty, jokester, social butterfly, only wanted to play sports, and that was it. I remember the countless hours of conversations at our kitchen table, Dad telling me to get my crap together. Fooling around and playing sports all day wasn't gonna get me anywhere. Apology accepted, Dad. As my village grew, my village family grew, it began to include coaches who shaped me into this athlete that I'm here today. So tonight, to my high school coach, Mr. and Mrs. Renzulo, to Cal Wolford, to Paul Mend, thank you so much. To my university family here at UW, I'm forever grateful to the late Steve Nimox, who spotted me in the one and only American tournament that I ever played in and brought me here. To Coach Neville, you weren't always everybody's cup of tea, but you worked for me, challenging me and believing in me and making me believe that I had a future in this sport. Thank you also to coaches Diane Keeley and Dwayne. And Chrissy, our physical therapist, thank you for literally keeping me duct taped together through my years here. A special thank you, of course, to our strength coach, Bill Gillespie. He was so good. He was so good at what he did that I got to the point whenever we played in Pullman, I was called a dude. It's okay. It's all right. I was strong confidence. It's accepted now, you know. You taught me the value of strength training. That same foundation helped me recover from 2 pulmonary embolisms in the last couple of years. So thank you, Bill, for your long term. To my UW teammates, you already know how much you mean to me. Absolutely love you. Thank you, Tui, as well. My village today is bigger, better, filled with coaches, teammates, friends, and new family members, and I'm beyond blessed to have each and every one of them in my life. To my step-parents and my 7 younger siblings, 6 of who also had scholarships, and everyone who's been a part of my journey, I love you. To my daughter, Wakaya, also got a scholarship. You have been and always will be my greatest accomplishment. And finally, thank you this evening to the selection committee, that's new. Selection committee, thank you so much. And to the inductees, past, present, and future. What an honor and blessing to share this space with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Makare. All right, back to rowing now. One of the longest tenured employees and coaches in UW history. Bob Ernst served as a head coach of both the men's and women's rowing teams, having begun his Husky career as the men's team freshman coach back in 1974. Led the Washington women to the national championship 6 times in 7 years in the 1980s, as we discussed, and as head men's coach, helped the Huskies win IRA national championship titles in 1997 and 2007. He's already been inducted to 3 other Hall of Fames as well. The UC Irvine Hall of Fame, as that's his alma mater, the Collegiate Rowing Coaches Association Hall of Fame, and the National Rowing Foundation Hall of Fame in 1994. One of the most influential voices in the creation and the success of the annual Windermere Cup. Had extensive involvement with the U.S. national teams as well, both men and women, serving as the U.S. coach on the 1976, 80, 84, and 88 Olympic teams. He coached the U.S. women, the women's 8 to the gold medal at the 1984 Games, the first women's rowing medal in U.S. history. Here is our next inductee, Bob Ernst.
Bob Ernst is a man of high character. He's also very tough and gritty. He sets standards for us. Kids coming out of high school, really not much discipline, land on the rowing team, and all of a sudden we've got discipline, we've got somebody that we have to hold standards up to. And Bob was able to do that in a loving way.
Bob has this image of being somewhat gruff, but you know, you'll notice he always has a twinkle in his eye at the same time. And Bob can be a really funny guy. He was always willing to go the extra mile for anyone who would meet him halfway. He is just one of the kindest hard asses that I know.
Bob is a builder of programs. Bob took the freshmen and turned them into a top-notch program in just a few short years. And when Bob took the helm of the women's team, he brought a sense of legitimacy and competitiveness to that team. When Dick left, the varsity program was in a little bit of disarray. Once again, Bob took over and rebuilt that program and won several national championships. Then the women's crew once again was faltering. So he relinquished the helm of the men's program and then took over the women's program and once again produced champions.
Bob had a tremendous talent for seeing, you know, who could be good in a boat and how to put them together to move that boat. I met Bob my senior year here at the UW when the program was not nearly as good. We had a lot of good people, but I don't feel like we had the support that we needed. You know, we didn't have a women's locker room. We were the middle of the Pac 8 at that time. And so my senior year, we finally got a locker room and we got Bob. What he brought that was so critical at that point was to treat us like athletes, like serious, hardcore athletes who had the ability to be really, really good. And we had an undefeated season, 1981, my senior year, and won the nationals. It was just such a huge turnaround. That was the beginning of a long legacy of great women's rowing at UW, which continues to this day.
One of his favorite sayings as we were rowing through Montlake Cut on a 2,000 meter piece was, "You can do anything for one more minute." If you can just do it for one more minute, you can do it for one more week, one more year, 4 more years and get that extra degree. I often look back at the lessons that I learned on the water with Bob Ernst, and they still carry with me through this day. So Bob, congratulations. This is very well deserved and a long time in coming.
Congratulations, Bob. You deserve this more than anyone.
And bestowing the purple jacket on Bob tonight is Chris Sanford Milburn. Congratulations. Thank you.
By the way, one tough sister. Chris stroked both of those national championship eights were up here a few minutes ago. Good job. Thanks, Chris. Well, I have to tell you, I usually don't speak from notes, but Justin, the guy that put this whole event together for us the last couple of days, is right over there. And he said I had 6 or 7 minutes, and I wasn't done by then. He was going to have my wife come up here and drag me off the stage. So here we go. Anyway, it's an honor to be here with you all tonight. Congratulations to the other honorees and their families and all their friends. Because I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for you all, we probably wouldn't have had the energy, the motivation, the drive to get here in the first place ourselves. A lot of tremendous support from all of you has made it possible for all of us to be here tonight. This is a special night for us. I'm especially proud to be joining the Hall of Fame tonight because I'm going in with a whole lot of really tough athletes that I got to coach. Congratulations, 87 and 88 crews. In 1974, Dick Erickson asked me to come here to Seattle and join him in coaching Washington rowing, one of the very best, most elite sports programs in the world. Thanks, Dick. At that time, I never dreamed that I would be walking in the same steps, the same footsteps as Hiram Conabear, the guy who started our rowing program. Rusty Callow, Al Albrechtsen, and Dick Erickson. I'm honored to be following those guys. It's just unbelievable to me. My career certainly has met all of my expectations. And I have to say that I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for all of the other great coaches that I got to serve here at the University of Washington with. And like the rest of the presenters, I'm going to make a list of names, but I want to tell you how dear all of these people are to me and how important they've been to Washington rowing. John Squadroni is not with us anymore, but I'll tell you what, if it hadn't been for John, we wouldn't have won those first 5 national championships. Good job, John. Colin Sykes is here tonight. Yuri Zaplatel. Fred Holmbine's here. Dr. Empacher. John Parker. Connor Bullis. And, of course, Michael Callahan and Jan Harville. Their success speaks for itself. Congratulations to you all. Through collaboration and hard work, we accomplished a lot. Having the opportunity to coach both the men and the women rowers here at the University of Washington was certainly the highlight of my career. They won championships, and we can all be proud of the citizens that they have become. Thank you.
Congratulations. Now to softball. A 4-year letter winner from Olympia, Washington. The UW softball program's first 3-time All-American and one of the most versatile players in Husky history, having started at every position other than pitcher. Originally a walk-on, earned first-team All-America in 1999, as well as second team in 1997 and third team in 1996. Part of the Huskies' 96 Pac-10 championship team and played in the Women's College World Series all 4 years, finishing as national runner-up twice. Still ranks among the top 10 in Husky history in 8 different statistical categories: 2nd in triples, 4th in games, 5th in hits, 7th in steals, 8th in runs, and in batting average, 9th in doubles, and 10th in hit by pitch. 1999 Seattle Post-Intelligencer Sports Star of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our next inductee, Becky Newbry.
Every coach alive, no matter what sport they're in, they always say there's an it factor. And Becky had the it factor. She had the personality, she had the passion, she had the exuberance, she had the communication, she had the work ethic, the hustle, and it was contagious.
She stood out, not just by her own playing abilities, but because of the way she made everyone else play around her, her teammates. She brought other people up with her.
She was one of the most determined children I'd ever seen in my life. She set her mind to something, set a goal for herself, and she'd let nothing stand in the way.
And as the story goes, originally she was planning on going to UW to play volleyball. And at the end of her volleyball recruiting trip, she goes, "Can you point me to the softball coach's office? I think I'd rather play softball." Being a walk-on didn't make a difference when it came to Becky. You know, she was going to excel.
She just loved the game. She wanted to play the game. She wanted to find a way to contribute. She was just one of those kids that it was all about the program. And she ended up playing every position except for pitching. She was that versatile. She truly could do anything.
She had a work ethic like you wouldn't believe. She usually was the last girl off the field, and if she wasn't the last one off the field, it was one of her upperclassmen that she had conned to come in and teach her how to run bases or how to lay down a bunt. She was a sponge, and any information she'd get, she would pack it away and ask for more. And I think that was the secret to her success.
And I remember we were playing Arizona, and there was a tough ball back to the warning track, and she didn't quite get to it, but she was not intimidated, scared. It was just, what do I have to do to get better? And I'll be darned, later in the game, there was another ball that would have been a game changer for that game, and she went full out and dove and made the catch. She was all about, if I make a mistake, how can I use it to get better? What adjustment can I make? And then executing it. She was not timid at all. She came in to leave her mark. It's so well deserved, this honor. Just want to send you much love and congratulations.
Congratulations, Becky. So well deserved. You earned it, and I am so proud of you. I love you, Beck.
Becky, you have been strong. You accepted challenges. You succeeded in every opportunity that was given to you. Your mother and I and your family are so proud of your achievements. You know, when you were a little girl, I nicknamed you Bug. Well, you did a great job, Bug.
Bestowing Becky with the prestigious purple jacket tonight is her husband, Jeff. Congratulations.
Ooh. Darn it, those videos. Oh. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior for the incredible life I get to live. I am beyond blessed. with the family that I was born into, the family that I married into, and the family that I have because of softball. God gave me the best parents in Ron and Sandy Newbry. My mom, Sandy's no longer with us, but she would have loved this night. She was so proud to take me to volleyball practices, take me to softball practices, games, lean cuisines in the car ride from one practice to the next when my sports overlapped. I was a volleyball player. I was actually recruited to play volleyball here. And when I was on the recruiting trip, I was watching Washington warm up against Stanford, and the softball coaches were in the equipment room, and they sent Eric Bryan out to come get me. And he said, "Are you Becky Newbry?" And I said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, softball coaches are in the equipment room, and they'd like to meet you." Now, the only reason they knew about me was because my great uncle, Bill Bissell, was the band director here during the start of the program. A legend in his own right. And he really is the reason I wanted to be a Husky. But they took into the equipment room, and I had a chat with Coach Wilson and Coach Rittman, and they said, "What sport do you like to play?" And I said, "Well, I like to play volleyball when I'm playing volleyball and softball when I'm playing softball." Obviously, I made a good choice in softball. And so I'm here tonight because my parents supported in everything that I did in whatever sport I chose to play. My mom was my loudest cheerleader. My dad always had a video recorder up to his eye recording me play, which is how my high school video got to the softball coach, because I was being recruited to play volleyball. So I said, "Hey, Dad, the softball coaches are interested. Can you put something together?" And he did, and we gave the VHS tape to the volleyball coach, and the volleyball coach sat with Rittman and watched the video, and then they said, "Well, would you like to come meet our team?" And so here I am. So thank you, Dad, for putting that video together and for your love and support that you gave me through the years. I need to thank my brothers, Chris and Matt, for putting up with my competitiveness. I always wanted to race my big brother, and he was like, "What's wrong with this girl?" But they supported me. Now, they went to the other school across the state. But both of them tonight must really love me, because my younger brother's wearing Husky socks. And my big brother is wearing Husky purple in his tie. So, I'm in love with some Cougs are gonna put on some Husky purple for you. To my husband, Jeff, thank you for doing life with me. Thank you for leading our family to Christ. And thank you for being a man of God, and I'm so proud to be your wife. I love you so much. To my kids, you are the best gift God could have given me, and I can't imagine my life without you. I love you all. I gotta thank my ride or dies, Vicky, who is up on the screen there, Jane and Jen Pirro. Love you, girls. You are the very best friends a girl could ask for. Thank you for loving and supporting me some 30 plus years. And finally, to my softball family, Teresa Wilson, who couldn't be here tonight, but thank you for making me a Husky, for giving this volleyball player a shot on the softball field. Thank you for being the mom I needed from 18 to 22. And thank you for being the mom I needed when mine passed away. You always answer my texts or take my call when I needed to talk. Thank you for sharing your faith with me, your love for the game, and for being the best example of what a coach should be. I'll love you forever. Now, I wouldn't be here tonight, as the other athletes of team sports talk about, if it weren't for the girls that also put on the Husky uniform. Thank you to Michelle Church and Sarah Pickering for being my hitting partners. Freshman and sophomore year, I just mimicked you guys. I did what you did, and it worked. Thank you to Jen Klein, Tammy Storseth, Mindy Williams, Allison Mick, Angie Marzetta. The list is long. The girls that I got to put that uniform on showed leadership and guidance during my first 2 years. I may have had the, what did Coach Wilson call it? The it factor, but they were who I learned that it factor from. Their hard work and dedication was my example, and they brought it every single day. Again, I just watched them. And then to Heather Tarr, thank you for continuing the legacy of the girls that started this program. Thank you for your dedication to bringing the girls from the past to the current girls that are on your team now. Every year we are so proud of the next generation of Husky softball players that it's easy to support and love this program. And I think that's the reason why our program thrives, is because of how you mold the past with the present. So thank you for that. And finally, to everybody that made this weekend so very special. Justin, we were in communication a lot. He helped me get my football tickets. It was a challenge because I don't do technical very well. But this event, this night will be cherished forever. So thank you to everybody that made this possible and the athletes that I get to share this class of 2025 with. You are remarkable, and I am just so honored to be a part of this group. Go Dogs!
Congratulations, Becky. All right, let's talk some hoop now. A 4-year letter winner from San Francisco, California. She played guard and was a 3-time first-team All-Pac-10 player. Finished her career with over 2,000 points, averaging 17.8 per game in her time in the purple and gold. That still ranks number 3 on the all-time scoring list. She was 4th in field goals made in her Husky career, still to this day. 3rd in field goals attempted, 4th in free throws made, 5th in free throws attempted, and 6th in three-pointers made. She also led the team in assists 3 times, showing her selflessness. Led the Huskies to 2 NCAA tournaments and also spent some time on the UW softball team before playing 3 seasons for the Seattle Storm in the WNBA, 68 games in her pro career. Here is our next inductee tonight, Jamie Redd.
Watching Jamie play at basketball at 11, 12 years old, I knew right off that Jamie was headed for stardom. She came with a great attitude, she came with leadership, she came with sportsmanship. Jamie's vision and Jamie's knowledge, the way she could read the court, her anticipation, her hustle, her style, the way she played, the way she competed, her work ethics was just awesome. You dream about having players with those kind of skills. Jamie was just a natural.
Jamie, looking back, she was the first guard that I can think of that really put UW on a map from just a pure offensive talent. She had incredible range from the three-point line, her ability to create off the dribble, her ability to create double teams and kick the ball out. Her prolific ability to score was like no one I had seen before.
She was strong, had great hang time. She was a terrific athlete, hard worker, knew the game, really smart. She was always, really grounded. Jamie came from a very, very tough neighborhood. There's no question that shaped her in many ways and had a lot to do with her being as successful as she was. And there was just no challenge that she wouldn't take on. And I think that she always felt that if somebody was going to tell her she couldn't do something, she was going to prove she could. So that little bit of chip on her shoulder carried her a long, long ways.
She had absolutely no fear in her. J-Red came in and she was like, give me the ball, give me the rock. She just had no fear, and we had never had a player like her before. The first women's basketball player here to score 2,000 points is quite an achievement.
The only thing bigger than Jamie's game was her heart. Jamie was all about relationships, and I think that the importance she placed on relationships was probably her superpower. She cared a great deal about her teammates. She loved the fans, the people that supported her, and that big heart just showed every time she went anywhere. And I think that that was one of the really foundational elements of her success. She's special, and she really, really deserves to be recognized like this. J-Red, you earned this, and I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Soak this up, enjoy it, you deserve it.
Congratulations, you deserve it, you worked hard for it. This is your special day.
J-Red, I'm really proud of you. Congratulations, you deserve this purple jacket.
Ladies and gentlemen, bestowing the purple jacket on Jamie tonight, former teammates Rhonda Smith-Bancaro and Tara Davis. Congratulations.
Wow, thank you. Wow. To all the inductees, congrats on this well-deserved honor. I will not begin to name names because the village is deep for me, and I would not want anyone to feel left out. Before I begin this speech, two things I would like to say. That first practice, midnight practice my first year, I literally questioned my whole decision to be a Husky. Why? I'm glad you asked. There's only one coach wild enough to make a new team in a different season start the practice off running 17 sidelines for the team last year getting out-rebounded. I had nothing to do with that team. Why am I running 17-17s? I'm glad I stuck with it, though. Down to the current AD, Pat Chun, you're not getting away. You had to be incorporated into this speech. You said that you were new here, and so when I received the call from you, I recognized your name from, you know, that school over the mountain, you know, the Washington State Cougs. I usually don't accept calls from rivals, especially that school. However, your call made my day and one for the memory books. I'm happy and glad for you that you have now chosen the winning side. Wow, standing here tonight feels so real. To be inducted into the Hall of Fame, to have my name etched among legends who've shaped the game is beyond anything that a kid from San Francisco could ever dreamed of. First, I want to thank God. None of this would have been possible without him, my faith, my family, and the people who believed in me and supported me on this journey. To my family, thank you for being my foundation. Everything I've done was to show you that greatness does not come from perfection, it comes from perseverance. I hope that I have made each of you proud. Growing up in the inner city of San Francisco, basketball was my refuge. The court was my classroom. It taught me discipline, confidence, and how to dream bigger than my surroundings. It taught me that if you work hard enough, if you keep showing up, you can change your story. When I got to the University of Washington, I was a fresh 16-year-old teenager. I carried nothing with me but a basketball. I carried more with me than just a basketball. I carried my community, my city, my family sacrifices, every rebound, every bucket, every sprint was a thank you to those who believed in me. To my coaches, thank you for pushing me beyond my limits. You didn't just teach me plays, you taught me accountability, you taught me leadership and grace under pressure. To my teammates, you are my sisters on and off the court. We didn't just win games, we built bonds that can't be broken, a sisterhood. Every assist, every dive for the ball, that was our collective heart on display. This award belongs to us. Thank you, guys, for trusting me and in believing in me. Basketball has given me more than trophies. It's given me identity, resilience, and purpose. But more importantly, it's taught me how to pour into others. The real legacy isn't in stats or banners. It's in how you inspire the next generation to believe that they can too. To the young athletes in the room, understand this. Your circumstances do not define you. Your choices do. Work ethic beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Keep your character louder than your critics and your purpose stronger than your fear. Tonight, I stand not as someone who made it, but as someone who was made by the game, by the grind, and by the people who never stopped believing in me. From San Francisco Blacktops to Husky Purple to now this Hall of Fame, thank you for letting me be a part of the story of basketball. This isn't the end of my journey. It's a reminder that we are all seeds, meant to grow, inspire, and give back. And as long as I can keep doing that, then this moment will live on far beyond the plaque on that wall. Once a dog, always a dog.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Jamie. To golf, a 4-year letter winner from Abbotsford, British Columbia, the winner of the 2010 Ben Hogan Award, presented annually to the nation's top men's college golfer in the nation. 3-time Ping All-American, just the second Husky honored 3 times on that list, and 2-time Pac-10 Co-Player of the Year. Won 4 tournaments and had 24 top 10 finishes as a Husky. Led the Huskies in stroke average 3 years in a row and spent 21 weeks at the top of the World Amateur Golf Rankings back in 2009. Also, the most successful professional golfer in Husky history. Taylor has won 5 PGA Tour events, including his home country's championship, the Canadian Open back in 2023, and winning 3 of his 5 titles in a playoff. He had his first top 25 finish at a major at this year's U.S. Open. Here is our next inductee, Nick Taylor.
The very first time I saw Nick was at the Canadian Junior Championship, and I saw him hit about a 20-foot putt. This isn't a putt that you're supposed to make, but he was so mad that he missed it. And I'm like, wow, he really thought he was supposed to make that putt. And I'm like, that guy's got some confidence. He just has a fierceness about him, a competitiveness, and toughness. He left a real impression on me, and I started recruiting him ever since.
Nick and I are the same age, but Nick has always been a big brother to me. I've always looked up to Nick. Safe to say that Nick is probably the greatest Husky to ever play, and I was very fortunate to live with him for 2 of those years, to watch him become the #1 player in the world. His commitment to school, his commitment to the game of golf, and then his commitment to his friendship was very special.
I remember one year he was like the #1 player in the country at the time, and we were at the regionals, and he was leading, and he was trying to be the player of the year, and our team was doing really well, and he hit this bad shot, left in the hazard. He made like a 9 on the hole, lost the tournament, probably lost the Player of the Year award because of it. And he was emotional afterward. And you know, we didn't hear the story for several months after, but he went and hit that same 5-iron that he hit into the water. He hit it thousands of times at the UW range. Over and over, he says, that's never happening again. And then he went on an incredible run. He qualified for the US Open, played great at Bethpage in the US Open, and became the #1 ranked amateur in the world.
I think Nick's legacy at the University of Washington is one of leadership and commitment to the game. The golf team had a few down years, and Nick, you can kind of pinpoint Nick to bringing that back and bring it to one of the best programs in the nation. And because of Nick's leadership and his willingness to be great and make those around him great. And that's something that will always last on forever.
Nick, congratulations. The Husky Hall of Fame, what an incredible honor. You deserve every bit of it. You're everything that a Husky should be in every way, and we're all so proud of you, proud to be a part of your journey and to know you.
Nick, good old buddy, old pal, my roommates. We had so much fun together. We both came a long ways, but for you to be inducted in the Hall of Fame is super special, and I'm really proud of you, and I can't wait to celebrate. Cheers.
Bestowing Nick with the prestigious purple jacket is his brother, Josh.
Thank you. Justin, I also had strict orders of 6 minutes. Luckily, I have a growing, impatient 5-year-old, but I'll keep it as quick as possible. It's an incredible honor to be standing here with all the inductees tonight. To the University of Washington, to the Hall of Fame committee, to the Big W Club, thank you. It's been an incredible weekend. Haven't been able to come back to campus as much as I had thought since I graduated in 2010, and to be able to bring my family, come to a football game, reminisce, walk around campus today has been very memorable, so thank you. I want to, again, congratulate all the fellow inductees. It's a privilege to be inducted alongside of you. It's been amazing to hear all of your stories and your time here at Washington. My 4 years at UW hold some of my favorite moments. The team trips, the late night Monopoly duels, endless Mario Kart. These were the good old days. Golf is an individual game, but for this short time, we had a team of brothers. We pushed each other to be better and made bonds that are here for a lifetime. Some of my best friends, almost 20 years later, are teammates that I had here. Success is never achieved alone. To all the coaches, teammates who pushed me, supported me, and believed in me, this award belongs to you just as much as it belongs to me. My first 2 years on the team had its ups and downs. The consistency wasn't there, and I wasn't the player that I wanted to be or thought I could become. Everything changed when a transfer came in from Bellevue Community College with the name of Richard Lee. He had the work ethic, structure, and discipline of a professional. It was infectious not just for me, but for everyone around us. He was a turning point in my career, and I owe a lot to him. It's no coincidence that we became Pac-10 champions back-to-back years once Richard arrived. He helped light a fire under us, and it lasted our entire time together. I especially want to thank my coaches during my time here. Matt Thurmond, who was up there, head coach, but John Rehorn, Garrett Clegg, Scott Alexander. Without your belief in me, confidence, and guidance, I wouldn't be here today. I'll never forget when I was struggling out of college, mini tour golf, and got a letter in the mail from Matt Thurmond. It was words of encouragement and words to help me acknowledge that there will be ups and downs, to keep working hard and pursuing because the future was bright. In the letter he said, "You are not far away. Whether you can completely feel that now or not, it doesn't matter. You have pure greatness inside of you, and time is your best friend. Time is the only thing separating you from where you're going." Once again, he was right. To my family, my wife, Andy, and I started dating my sophomore year. She went to the University of Fraser Valley in Abbotsford and became a social worker, but she always knows that she's a Husky at heart. We've been along for a crazy ride every step of the way, supporting me from my 22nd Avenue apartment to the grind of mini tour golf and now on the PGA Tour. Thank you for giving me our two beautiful children, Charlie and Harper. They've taught me perspective and gratitude in ways I never thought imaginable. To my brother Josh, who was presented the coat, thank you for carving the path for me and starting this wonderful game. Like any baby brother would do, I did what you did. I followed you and you believed in me every step of the way. I want to dedicate this incredible honor to my parents. You have instilled in me humility, dedication, and hard work to succeed. You will have sacrificed so much over the years for both of us and been by my side for every step and every shot of this journey. My dad still lives and dies on every shot to this day. Maybe one day he can relax a little bit. I have endless people that have believed in me and pushed me to be the best that I can be. To all of you, I'm so grateful. To the end, I want to share a quote my dad had on the wall since I was young and I've thought of often throughout my life and career. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. To my kids, always believe in yourself and you can achieve anything in this world. Go Dogs. Thank you.
Congratulations, Nick. All right, our final inductee tonight was a 3-year letter-winning wide receiver for the Husky football team from Lakewood, Washington. Over a 3-year career, finished as one of the most prolific wide receivers in the history of the Pac-10, Pac-12 conference. Still holds the Husky single season and career records for receptions with 94 and 243 respectively. His 1,454 receiving yards in 2002 still rank as number 2 in Husky history, and once again was only broken over the course of a 15-game season. While his 3,598 career receiving yards are still a school record. His freshman season is number 11 all-time on the Husky history list, 1,005 yards as a freshman. The only Husky receiver ever to record 3 1,000-yard seasons. He had 16 100-yard games in his career, still number 1 ever at the University of Washington. Reggie Williams' career receptions total still ranks number 8 in Pac-12 history. His career yardage total ranks at number 5. He was a consensus first-team All-American in 2002. Also participated in track and field for the Huskies and was selected by the Jacksonville Jaguars with the number 9 overall pick in the 2004 NFL Draft. He appeared in 79 games over his 5-year career in Jacksonville. Ladies and gentlemen, here is our next inductee, Reggie Williams.
Man, I just remember him putting in work as a freshman in high school. He just always put 100% into it, put 100% effort towards everything that he does. He's an all-in type of guy. He was the Swiss Army, just anything you need. Not only could he beat you on the deep route, he'd go across the middle, which a lot of receivers didn't want to do. If you want a yak, just yards after the catch, he got that. Big, physical, also has speed to be that big as well, so he kind of had the tangibles to beat you in multiple different ways as opposed to just being one-dimensional.
Obviously, he has his God-given talent, right? He's big, he's strong, he's fast, those things, but the way he was just selfless as far as being a great teammate. You know, a lot of times you see receivers or skill position players that are selfish. He's not that way. Anytime somebody had made a big play or did this or that, and he was super excited for all of his teammates, but he was just an awesome person to be around and a great teammate.
He was fearless. No matter the score, no matter who we're playing, he always came with that attitude, and it was contagious around everybody else.
I remember we played an Apple Cup at Wazoo, and we're down 4 minutes left, we're down 10 points, and we're struggling a little bit. I'm not playing very good. And the end of the game was like, we had a go route. We knew he was gonna be double covered. And I just remember looking him in the eye in the huddle and saying, hey man, you got a go ball, I'm throwing it to you. Go get it. He said, he looked at me and it was like that connection, like, I got you. There wasn't any progression to what I was doing. We needed a play and I threw it up to him and he jumped over Trufant and safety made a big catch. We grinded it out in triple or quadruple overtime and spoiled their dreams of going to Rose Bowl. He was my guy and he was always there in the event that we needed a big play. He knew I was coming to him and he came through time and time again.
We saw all the things behind the scenes. The fans just saw Saturday. So it wasn't like he just popped up and that's what it was. He made it seem that way because of how he was working behind the scenes. It was the preparation and the process that I enjoyed about it. You knew what you got from him, and that was confident, and it was just consistent, but that's how he lived his life, and that was him during the week. His influence and his touch goes well beyond just him as a football player. Yes, he was an amazing football player at UW and went on to be a player on the NFL level. But above all that, Reggie's a great human being. So I just want to say congratulations to you, buddy. God bless you, and well-deserved. It was just great being a part of your team, man.
Reg, I love you, man. I'm so fortunate, so blessed to be able to have played with you, to have a brother in you and be able to just share the years that we've shared together. And I'm so happy for you, man, and it's about time. Welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Bestowing Reggie with the prestigious purple jacket tonight, his 3 sons, Rocket, Raider, and Rush.
God is great, ain't he? I feel like I'm about to give a little sermon up here one time. Lakewood, we did it. Good evening, Huskies. Wow. It's an honor to be here tonight. I always get so emotional when I come back to Washington. Tonight takes the cake. Many of you know I grew up a military kid, which basically means I had more change of addresses than birthday parties. I was born in Landstuhl, Germany, and moved from base to base, city to city, all over the U.S. I was always the new kid. You learn fast in life. You become real observant. You learn how to find your way quickly, adjust, and how to let go quickly. You learn how to make new friends, and you learn who are your true friends, and how to compete for every spot at the lunch table. It wasn't always easy, but looking back, that's how my foundation was built. Every move, every new environment taught me discipline, adaptability. You like that? Yeah. And how to walk in a room full of strangers and find my place. All of these lessons ended up being the same lessons that carried me throughout my life, on and off the field, especially here at Washington. Excuse me, I almost sweat out my new haircut. Eventually, my family landed in Lakewood, Washington. That's where I found my footing, my community, and the game that became everything to me, football. At Lakes, I was just a kid with big dreams, a big mouth, and the drive to back them both up. I was hungry, and I had the hunger to change my life. That's where I learned that success doesn't come from just being the biggest or the fastest. It comes from the grind and the mental fortitude to outwork the next guy to you. When I got the opportunity to play ball at the University of Washington and stay home right here in Seattle, it meant everything. It wasn't just putting on a jersey. I was representing my city, my community, and my family. Once again. Playing right here in Husky Stadium as a hometown kid was something special. Every roar in the crowd felt personal. Every time I ran out that tunnel, the little kid from Lakewood, I could hear whispering to me saying, "Let's go, go put on the show." In this same discipline from growing up in a military family that show up, show out, do your job, fight for your brother next to you, no excuses kind of mentality. That's exactly what being a Husky is all about. Discipline, hard work, and brotherhood. Woo. I think this jacket may be a little insulated with a little fur or something. Excuse me. I learned early that talent might open the door, but consistency keeps you in that room. And those Huskies practices, in the wet, the cold, and the rain, having tough coaches and teammates who didn't let you slack. That's love. That's the kind of brotherhood that shapes you for life. When I look back, what stands out the most isn't the records or the stats or the sweat dripping down my cheek like I'm at MJ at the free throw line in '97. Yeah, let me get that. Thank you. Let me blot that. Excuse me. It's the moments, the laughter in the locker room, the road trips, and the good times with the boys. The fans who scream through the rain and the feeling of being a part of something that's bigger than myself. Football taught me to show up, to compete, to fail forward, and to rise again. But Washington, the Husky family, taught me how to belong. So tonight, I'm not just celebrating what I accomplished, I'm celebrating what was built. What's still being built by every Husky going out that tunnel. Now, before I close, I want to thank a few people that have supported me throughout this journey. To all my Lakes coaches, Coach Miller, it's right there, the greatest high school coach right there in Washington history. Let's go. Still at Lakes, by the way, 40 plus years. To Coach Zach and my friends from Lakewood, from Virginia, who have come here today. You are with me when it all started. Thank you for helping me and for holding me accountable and pushing me to be great. To my wife, Brandy. Woo, she fine, ain't she? That's that H-Town fine. You're the best teammate a man could ever ask for. And the family that we've built, the life we've created, is the greatest accomplishment. And I wouldn't want to do life with anybody but you. Love you, baby. To my 3 sons, Rush, Raider, and Rocket. You guys are my motivation every day. Watching you grow up into the young men has been the best chapter yet. If you take anything from your old boy tonight, let it be this. Success is great, but character is greater. Show up, do your best, treat people right. That's what makes you a winner. To my big brother, D, the first athlete of the house, thank you for setting the tone. The countless hours of being your crash test dummy are really what got my hands nice. It's facts. My first QB, my protector. You single-handedly made me tough. Getting tackled or taped to a tree, it's true, was a cakewalk compared to being your little brother. Dude built the real warrior. Day by day, I'm not here without you. Thank you, bro. I love you. Couple seconds on the clock. MJ's at the line. To my mom, I love you, Mom. You've been my biggest prayer warrior, cheerleader, and nurse since day one. The love and prayers and sacrifices, I carry all of that with me every day. Thank you, I love you. To my dogs, we back there? Yeah. I wouldn't want to go to war with any other men on earth besides you guys. You have always had my back, and know I'll always have yours. And finally, my dad. Ooh. Hold it together. My dad, Reginald Williams Sr., Big Reg. I know you're here in spirit tonight. I feel you with me. You're the first coach and the first person to ever believe in me. You were the first person to believe that I was special. You taught me how to lead, how to work, and never let your circumstances define who you are. Dad, I know you're proud, and I'm proud to be your son. Man, my dad was cool, y'all. Straight up. When I think about this moment, being honored in the Hall of Fame by the school that shaped me, I don't just see it as a recognition. I see it as gratitude in motion. Gratitude for the coaches, for the teammates, the fans, the family, and the foundation that made me who I am. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee, to Pat for crossing over the mountains from the other Cougar team and really coming to be a dog and calling me. Appreciate that, Pat. To my teammates, my coaches, and my friends and my family, for believing, for supporting, and for celebrating this journey. Say who? Say what? Say who? Say dogs ain't bad, mother.
The great Reggie Williams. Again, we would like to thank all the people who made this Husky Hall of Fame ceremony possible. And this concludes our ceremony this evening. Now, let's celebrate our 2025 Hall of Fame class one more time. I would like to invite all of tonight's Hall of Fame inductees to join me on the stage for photos. Please come up now. Congratulations and good night.